Today is Tuesday and it's crazy busy. Even my dispatcher is driving a pickup truck because one of the guys that was supposed to show up did not show up. Like one.
Continue on Alberta 201 for 1 kilometer.
Well, this guy. He actually works in the shop, but when it's very busy, he's on the.
600 meters. Use the right 3 lanes to turn slightly right onto Alberta 8 East.
He's on the approved insurance list because not everybody can drive our trucks, right? You have to be approved by insurance. And so we have this guy who's approved by insurance, and even though he works in the shop, but when it gets very busy, they ask him to help out.
To turn slightly right onto Alberta 8 East.
But today, he did not show up for work. I don't know, I think he's sick.
Continue on Alberta 8 East.
And so we have one driver, me, another driver, and then the dispatcher went out to deliver as well. And so my first delivery was a small scissor lift. I delivered that in Northwest, not too far, and then came back and loaded a slab boom, you know, like a very heavy all-electric machine. Loaded that one, delivered that one, came back, and they put me in a pickup truck. So I loaded a bunch of scaffolding, and I just delivered the scaffolding, and now I have
3 kilometers. Take the Crowchild Trail north exit.
and now I have 2 pickups. The first one is going to be a doozy. It's a shingle conveyor. It's pretty heavy. It's kind of like a ladder, except when you connect it to a little electric motor, the steps of the rungs of the ladder move, and that's how you can transport shingles, you know, like from the ground. Let's say one guy's on the ground, one guy's on the roof pretending to be working, and so that's what they use these shingle conveyors for, and actually they do work. I saw guys test them in the shop, and that thing is moving like there's no tomorrow, you know. And so after that, once I load this humongous shingle conveyor on top of the bed, and it's gonna stick out over the cab, and it's gonna stick out in the back over the bed. Then my last pickup is tow behind conveyor. Conveyor generator. 15 kilowatt generator that I delivered a couple of days ago. I guess they don't need it anymore because I recognize the address. But first we have to deal with the shingle thing, and hopefully it does not stick out too bad in the back, otherwise I might have trouble towing that
600 meters. Take the Crowchild Trail north exit.
Towing that generator, you know. Okay, what am I taking here? Crowchild, okay.
Take the Crowchild Trail north exit, then use any lane to turn slightly left onto the Crowchild Trail north ramp.
Okay, Crowchild.
Use any lane to turn slightly left onto the Crowchild Trail north ramp, then use any lane to turn left onto Crowchild Trail southwest.
And the pickup, it's like this shingle conveyor.
Use any lane to turn left onto Crowchild Trail southwest. Continue on Crowchild Trail southwest for 5 kilometers.
Yeah, it's in downtown. And time now is what, around 10? This shouldn't be too bad in terms of traffic. And that's what my load looks like. So on the top is shingle mover conveyor, and here we have a 15 kilowatt generator, and hooked up like this. See, 2 chains, electric for the light, and that security pin. We are good to go. So this is the new area with Eternal Construction, where they're building homes. See lots of empty land. And this is usually a place like this is typical where I would deliver, let's say, scaffolding or some small machines, you know, like skid steers, mini excavators. the guy saw my camera, he's looking at me. You keep looking. Yeah, I'm a spy.
Turn right onto Kennewood Drive Southwest.
I'm a South Korean spy, spying on new developments in Calgary. So,
400, head east on Calais Drive Southwest toward Kennewood Drive Southwest, then turn right onto Kennewood Drive Southwest.
I see more machines over there. There's going to be another development over there. Land over here. I'm telling you. And they were saying that actually,
In 400 meters, turn left onto Flanders Avenue Southwest.
yeah, good thing I read in the news about the real estate in Calgary. They're saying that 2025 is going to be even better for the industry than 2024. And in 2024, I already made a bunch of money on my apartment. So let me see, and so over there where I picked up this generator, they're building standalone houses. Here they have see, like, these looks like townhouses, and over there they have a multi-story, what is it, 5 stories, 6 stories, probably either like a rental or a condo, an apartment complex. So this is
Turn left onto Flanders Avenue Southwest.
this is southwest Calgary, like typically a safe area, and
In
where
300 meters at the roundabout, take the second exit.
houses are more expensive than where I live in Northeast. And here, out of nowhere, you have a like a vineyard, you know, grapes to glass distillery. It's a distillery, and they have a restaurant, and you can go there and you can try all kinds of wine, or I don't know what they distill in there. All right, what are we jumping on? We're jumping on Crowchild. Oh yes, jumping on Crowchild. I'm going north, and on the way back I'll be passing my favorite.
Exit the roundabout, then use the right lane to turn left. Use the right lane to turn left.
Right lane to turn left. That's an interesting direction. So yeah, this is Crowchild North, and then on the way back I'm gonna stop at Sobeys. They have a great deli section, and I'm gonna grab something for my lunch.
Continue on Crowchild Trail Southwest for 3 kilometers.
And I'm 24 kilometers away from like, you know, most trips it's like 20-30 kilometers. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 50, but it's a lot of kilometers we put in on these diesel trucks. And today I'm in F350. The current mileage is in kilometers 290,375. 290,000 kilometers. So these trucks take a beating and keep going. Well, it's dark, but I'm in a Ram 3500, our best pickup truck probably. and that's what it looks like inside the cab. So it's much newer than the other two Ford 350s we have. So it has CarPlay. So I just put in the address, and I'm listening to Sirius XM just to see how much more chaos will happen today in the States. It's kind of like the news are great to read now, like what else can happen, how many more people can be pissed off. And I think sooner or later somebody will say, wait, so we voted for this guy? But fun fact, I know people, most of my American viewers hate when I talk about US politics, but you can talk about anything you want. But when I start talking, no, that's bullshit, right? People can have opinions, so, but politics is very controversial, right? So we're not gonna go there. But just one fun fact is that I read today in the news is that more people are denouncing US citizenship now compared to, let's say, a year before, after Trump took office. That's a fact. Like, for example, they talked to a lawyer who specializes in this, in citizenship renunciation, and he's based in British Columbia, Canada, and he has dual citizenship, US and Canada, and that was his specialty. He was helping people renounce their US citizenship, and the main reason they do that is to avoid dual taxation. Basically, it's all to do with taxation. And so now this year they were doing a interview with him, and he said he followed that route himself, and he canceled his US citizenship. So now today's Wednesday, and this is my lucky Wednesday because my first delivery is scaffolding. And when I look outside the shop to look for an available pickup truck, I see our Ram 3500 loaded with some scaffolding. So what happens usually when we do a pickup, you know, we pick up some scaffolding, and then we always ask dispatch, like, shall we unload or shall we keep it maybe for tomorrow, if there's any scaffolding going out. And probably what happened, whoever brought this, they asked the dispatch, and dispatch said, wait, we have similar load going out on Wednesday. And so they left it in the truck, and I needed 4 big frames. It had 4 big frames. I needed 4 10-footer decks. It had 4 decks. I needed 8 casters or wheels, and it had 4. So basically all I had to do was add 4 wheels and remove 2 short braces and leave the 4 long braces, which are yellow. We call them yellow because they're marked with yellow. They're 10 foot long, so they, you know, they used on the side of the frames to secure them, so that the whole scaffolding module, so to speak, is stable when it's assembled. And I'm passing airport on my right, a bunch of hotels here, a bunch of hotels on the left. This is Airport Trail, because I found that this is the best way to the ring road in the morning. Otherwise the top of 201 gets too busy at Country Hills Boulevard, but when you jump on the 201 from the Airport Trail, you get your own lane, because before it's 2 lanes, after Airport Trail it's 3 lanes. And so this is going to be a kind of like a road trip, because I'm going to the very south of Calgary. So it's 50 kilometers 30 miles, you know. And I do 2 drops pretty much in the same area. Each house where they do drywall receives 2 frames, 2 decks, 2 braces, and 4 casters. And then I have 1 pickup in the same area, just also a very small one, 2 frames, 2 decks, yeah, same one, kind of like 2 frames, 2 decks, 2 braces, and 4 casters. It's like a standard 1 module of scaffolding. Now here sometimes you have cops. Oh wow, I'm doing 90. Hold on. A couple of times I saw a motorbike cop standing here and on the right, because the speed limit changes from 80 to 70 clicks an hour, and of course people are doing 100, so they like this when you know, limits change. That's where usually they stand, so I gotta be careful. All right, so this is Airport Trail, so I'll be on 201 in a short while, and then just proceed to the bottom of Calgary. And this week is going to be special in a way, because towards the end of the week we're getting a deep freeze, like a blow of Arctic air. So now it's +2 Celsius, which is what, like 34, 35 F. But by the end of the week it'll be -20 Celsius. So it's going to be some challenging conditions, but good news for me as an Uber driver is that I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to make very good money on the weekend, because there's a lot of rides when the weather is this cold, because people cannot stand on a bus stop for like half an hour, you know. I don't know what's wrong with them, but a lot of people prefer Uber. Let's say even if they're going to the LRT, you know, light transit, like a railway station, but to get there you need a bus, and so buses don't go well in cold weather. Maybe the fact that all our buses run on propane, no wait, natural gas, compressed natural CNG. All our buses run on CNG, and maybe that has something to do with long delays in cold weather. Maybe they break down or something, I don't know, but that's the plan. And I did some shopping on Amazon the other day, so I bought a couple of accessories. I bought some stock cheek rice for my Mossberg, and I got some nice Japanese tea. So now trying to drink more green tea for longevity, and less coffee. And I did have a coffee, but decaf. I stopped by Starbucks in the morning and I said, grande decaf upside down with a shot of hazelnut syrup. Anything else? No, that's it. Well, I'll see you at the window. And what else? Yeah, nothing else is happening. I don't have any bookings for my Dodge Durango except the one that's coming in the middle of February. So yeah, not making too much money there. And also it's been slow at work. Like my paycheck went down like past couple of paydays. But the good news is that the Trudeau government was doling out carbon tax rebates, and last paycheck, so my paycheck was low, but I got 230 or 250 bucks carbon tax rebate from the government, so which kind of like, you know, helped, made my pay pretty much similar to what it was before. I love the sound of this diesel. So this is a Cummins diesel engine. This thing is a beast. So this is the typical area I operate in. Like, this street is not on any map, this road here, and it has only 3 houses, 2 over there being built and 1 behind me where I just picked up some scaffolding. You see there in the back. So I picked up some decks, some braces, and these people, I don't know what they do, but all the pins are missing. You know, like on the top of these 5x5 frames, there's a pin which allows you to connect frames and put them on top of each other. Let's say if you want to do like 2 levels, and there's nothing. So I made a note, so we're gonna charge him for this. Oh, and there's an excavator. The ground is so bad that the guy has like a claw, and he's, you know, like this, and he's digging. You can see the dirt over here. I guess he could not dig this trench unless he digs out all the chunks of dirt. And he's behind me there with that. It was cool to see the guy, you know, how he operates the joysticks. Like, I'm always amazed at the hand coordination of excavator guys, because, you know, you have to do so many movements at once, right? Like the boom, the arm, and then he moves the machine. He can move the house left, right. Like, I don't know, they're like painters or something. But I could do a wheel loader for sure. I learned that. It's just that, you know, I stopped even looking for a construction job, because first of all, it's cold, it's winter, but second, I really don't want to work 12 hours a day, you know. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I love wheel loaders and skid steers, but 12 hours a day, like, you know, I'm 63 years old. You know, how much life is left, you know. I want to enjoy it, you know. At least here I'm inside a super nice diesel pickup truck, you know, and the work is physical, but it's not too bad. Actually, I found out that because I carry all these heavy decks, you know, 10-footer decks, those are the worst, because quite often they're dirty, and then you end up getting covered in dry wash. But I found out that my stomach muscles, you know, or as we say in Russian, press, you know, abdomen muscles are now much stronger, because I always have to, you know, tighten them to lift something up and down, you know. I'm now much stronger than when I joined this job. I'm telling you, when I joined this company, like, I carry these frames with one hand, no big deal. So yeah, I think it's good, you know, for people of my age, something like this, you know, like moderate physical work, it's pure gold, you know. I don't have to go to a gym. And actually, I was supposed to run today, because today is Wednesday, right? So I'm trying to jog Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I did Monday. I jogged for like 15 minutes. Today I set up the alarm for 5 a.m. It rings, I look at the clock, man, I don't feel like it, so I changed it to 6, my regular time when I don't have to get up early. So earlier than that, and then 15 minutes at 6:15 I usually leave the apartment, and then my shift starts at 6:45, so I have to clock in before that. So I'm usually at work around 6:35. So anyway,
Continue straight to stay on Rangeview Boulevard Southeast.
and it's not Rangeview Boulevard. Rangeview Boulevard is the one that runs parallel, but these 3 streets, this one I'm on, this one going on the left, and the one going straight, they're not on, well, they are on the map, but they have no names. see a lot of these trucks, the hydrovac
Continue on Rangeview Boulevard southeast for 800 meters.
hydrovac trucks.
Head southeast on Settenstone Landing southeast toward Settenstone. Head south on Magnolia Street southeast toward Rangeview Boulevard southeast, then turn left onto Rangeview Boulevard southeast.
Where all this traffic coming from?
Turn left onto Rangeview Boulevard southeast.
Now this is Rangeview, and the whole area on the other side of the road is called Rangeview, and they're promoting basically you can buy houses here, you know, hey, jump in, low 700s. But this is middle of nowhere. This is the very bottom of Calgary, and you are
on Rangeview Boulevard southeast for 800 meters.
and you are actually south of the ring road, so you are outside of the ring road. So that's how far this thing is.
In 500 meters, turn left onto 88th Street southeast.
Yeah, I see it's all fields. To my right there's a field, straight there's a field, so that's it, there's nowhere to go.
Turn left onto 88th Street southeast.
But of course they have a stop sign, you know, like the road on the right is blocked. Like, why do we need a stop sign here? Like, there's nobody coming from the right, nobody coming from the left.
Continue for 3 kilometers.
And to my right is a farm. There's some cattle. So people on the left, and if their windows are facing this way, so they get the dubious privilege of watching cows shit, you know, 24/7. Yeah, because you see to the right of me it's all farms and fields. But you know, at least I'm telling you, I know all the areas where new houses are being built thanks to this job. So when it's time for me to buy, you know, to sell my property and buy something else, I know where to go. Except I like the north part of Calgary better because I do Uber all the time. I like to be close to the airport. And here they made very easy entrance to the freeway for these guys, because this road that I'm on just turns into a ramp to 201 North, the ring road. Yeah, see to the right, if you go to the right, that's 201 West. If you go straight, you don't have to make any turns. You keep going straight, that's Stony Trail North, 201 North, which is the way I'm going.
In 600 meters, merge onto Alberta 201 North.
And see, now we are up to 100 clicks an hour. another 30 miles, roughly 50 kilometers to drive back to base.
Continue on Alberta 201 north, 34 kilometers.
So all in all, this morning run, I did about 100 kilometers or 62 miles in the pickup truck.
In 3 kilometers, use the second from the right lane to take exit 68B for Alberta 2 south.
back to the yard, and before unloading the scaffolding, how I usually do, I go inside and I ask the boss, my dispatcher, say, what shall I do with the scaffolding? Because sometimes it goes out, you know, on the next day or something, and then we just leave it, you know, you don't have to muscle it out. And he says, unfortunately, today is one of those days when it's all about scaffolding pickups. He says, we don't have any scaffold delivery, only scaffold pickups today. And the other driver I saw in the morning, he loaded 2 scissor lifts on the Freightliner, on his Freightliner, and he delivered it. But now I see he's also in the pickup truck, just like me. And so I unloaded 2 5x5 frames, 3 decks, 4 casters, and 2 10-foot braces. And now my truck is empty, and I have 3 pickups. But lucky for me, the last 2 are at the same place. It's just 2 different orders. And also another partial luck is that the decks are not 10-foot long, but all the decks on these 3 pickups, or rather 2, are 7-footers. So they're much lighter. It's actually quite, you know, it's quite comfortable to carry 2 of them, as long as they're not too dirty. You know, just grab them by the side there. But quite often they're very dirty, covered in dry wash and drywall stuff, you know. And if you carry 2 of them, the decks are usually, the way you carry them, the decks are facing your pants, and then all your pants are white, you know, at the end of the day. So I only carry 2 when they're, like, usually I always like to see when the customer, you know, tells me the name of the customer, when the customer is not a drywall company. If I see like AC or electric, you know, or plumbing, those guys use scaffolding as well, then I know that the scaffolding will be much nicer, much cleaner. But if it's drywall company, like we have a couple of big drywall companies, man, you give them a couple of times, you know, I didn't want to load dirty scaffolding, so I picked up brand new decks, and I give them brand new, pristine condition 10-footed decks. And then let's say a week later they send me to pick them up, they all shit, you know, they're all covered by drywall. It's dangerous, you know, if you shake them a little bit, all that stuff flies in the air, can fly into your eyes. So especially in the summer when it's, you know, dry and hot, it's a good idea to wear some protective glasses, like, I kid you not, when you deal with this drywall soaked decks. And so now I think these are, the first one is electric company, and the second one I forgot to check, but it should be cleaner than usual. And so my first stop is 30 kilometers away, you know, so it's all like, you know, lots of driving, which I love driving, especially it's such a awesome truck. Man, the torque this thing has, I think it's better than a Hellcat, you know. Like, you push gas, or rather, because it runs on diesel, you push the throttle, this thing just flies like a bat out of hell.
In 500 meters, use the right lane to take the Beddington Trail ramp.
And the roads in Calgary, in case somebody's curious, the freeways or highways, but the divided highways are okay. But the city streets,
take the Beddington Trail ramp, then take
city streets are awful, because quite often you have those recessed
take the Beddington Trail ramp.
manhole covers, and you can lose a wheel. And they always put them not in the center for some reason. They put them always
on Beddington Trail for 2 kilometers
to the side, you know. So you always hit like if there's a bunch of them, you always hit at least one. So I already had to do a realignment on my Jeep Jeep Compass, because yeah, it was out of alignment. I hit a big pothole, and then there's potholes where the whole chunk of pavement is missing, and it's probably like, you know, half a foot deep. Yeah, like local roads are not good. You have to be careful, and you have to leave enough space from the car in the front so that you can see these manhole covers and potholes, because if you drive too close you cannot see them, right? I mean, no, you will see them, but see right now, that's what I had to do to avoid one of these. And they're always, like I said, I don't know what's wrong with them, but why you cannot put them in the freaking center of the lane so that it's between the wheels? No, they put them always to the side. And so you have to do like this, you know, to avoid it. And of course, if there's a car next to you, you cannot do it. Bingo, we have an oversized monster on top of the hill. I was hoping for something like this, so now guys, I'm going to show you. He has an escort in the back with flashing lights, and I think he's hauling a scraper. I'm going to come up on it in a second. I'm going to slow down so you can get a better look. And I move these myself, but I don't know why, but in Alberta I see people use much more axles than I used to. Oh shoot, son of a gun. Yeah, he turned on Country Hills Boulevard. I thought he was on 201, so yeah, he's already at the bottom there. So yeah, it's a big scraper, and I bet yeah, it looks like a tri-axle truck, like a tri-drive truck, and a Jeep. Back here is 2+2, but actually no, it's a much bigger trailer. He has one of those, it's 2+2, like 2 axles, but each axle has 8 wheels. Man, boy, the mountains look pretty good today before the frost, and you can see these clouds. I don't know what they're called in English, but in Russian they're called перистые облака. And my father, the former late military pilot, he would always freak out when he sees these перистые облака. Oh man, that's no good. So basically he was saying, when you see these super thin, high altitude clouds, that's for the change of weather. And of course we know, like I mentioned before, so at the end of this week we are in deep freeze. But man, the mountains look so close. Like the air is really good. And that's the best part about living in Calgary. This view, you know, never gets old. Alright, just checking, so we should have 6 frames, those blue ones, and then 5 decks, casters, some safety rail posts, and a bunch of braces and safety rails, which looks like braces except they only have 1 pipe. Alright, let's load this bad boy. Now this is a watermark. Check out the houses. Everybody drive GMC Yukon. Yeah, this is the rich area. So I just picked up my last two what the heck, come on, get in there. So yeah, I just picked up my last 2 loads of scaffold, but this time I was lucky again. Man, today is my lucky day. I was lucky that the driveway was empty. Like, this does not happen often in new construction areas, you know, like seriously. Like, quite often I have to walk, you know, like, I don't know, 5-10 meters to carry the scaffold. This time there was a guy
in 600 meters, turn left.
There was a guy moving something into his truck, and his boxes were in the driveway. I said, sir, no, I said, boss, would you please do me a huge favor? I need to pick up that scaffolding up the driveway. Can you move the boxes so I can back up with my truck? He looked at me, didn't say anything, didn't show me any indecent gestures, but moved the boxes, and I backed right to the scaffolding. And then the guy looked European. I think he was either Polish or from Slovakia or something like that. So I just asked him, I said, are you all done? He said, yeah, almost. I said, what do you do? He says, cabinet. And that's how he phrased it, just singular, cabinet. I said, you mean cabinets? He says, yeah. So I said, oh, so you're a carpenter, right? He says, yeah. Like a young guy, you know, maybe, I don't know, in his late 20s, early 30s. And he already has a profession, cabinet maker. Yeah, and you get here by, if you follow Highway 1A towards Banff, but then or Cochrane, yeah, and then you take pretty much the first major intersection is 12 Mile Coulee Road. I don't know why it's called like that, some crazy name. And this is the one.
Onto 12 Mile Coulee Road northwest.
Yeah, this is the one I'm turning on. That's 12 Mile Coulee Road. And look at those houses on straight ahead on the hill. Those are humongous as well.
Continue on 12 Mile Coulee Road northwest for 2 kilometers.
Yeah, so now I just follow this 12 Mile Coulee Road north, and then I jump on 1A southeast, and it takes me to the Ring Road 201, and I go north towards the airport. So easy peasy, especially in a beautiful truck like this with an automatic transmission and Cummins power. Yes sir, reminds me of the Cummins in my K-Whopper. This thing even has Jake brake. It's probably exhaust brake, but it has only two settings. Full automatic. No, it has full, and then the second setting is automatic. And so I usually keep it on automatic because then it doesn't brake as hard. And so as soon as I take my foot off the throttle, doesn't want to brake now, you see? Yeah, because it's on automatic. But if it was in full mode, as soon as I take the foot off, it starts braking immediately. So automatic gives you a bit of a leniency, which I find is useful.
In 500 meters, turn right onto Crowchild Trail northwest, Alberta 1A east. Signs for Crowchild Trail east.
Yeah, and Crowchild, of course, is 1A. And you can go left, which would be northwest, or I need to go right, which is southeast, back to Calgary.
Turn right onto Crowchild Trail northwest, Alberta 1A east. Signs for Crowchild Trail East.
And then it's already 11:12, 12 minutes
Continue
past
on Alberta
11.
Way East for 2 kilometers.
Because I don't have any breakfast usually, I prefer to have my lunch early, usually at 11. And so now on the way back, I'm gonna stop at the Sobeys on Country Hills and get me a sandwich. Also, yesterday I had some chicken wings. Man, they were great. Like grilled, not breaded, the way I like them. Except they're super expensive because they charge you by weight, because it's like a buffet. So I had like 12 chicken wings, 1 vegetarian samosa, and 3 pieces of fried potatoes. And that cost me, plus a small Diet Coke, just to complete the triangle of poisons. And that cost me 15 bucks Canadian. But I really felt full after that, you know. The chicken wings were great, like tender, juicy.
In 800 meters, take the Alberta 201 North Stony Trail exit.
And that's it. You see, I'm back on the main drag, 201 North. And I can see the downtown in the distance. It's probably too small in the camera, but those big skyscrapers.
Take the Alberta 201 North exit.
Okay, now the exhaust brake is on. Now it only came on when I pushed on the brake pedal. Now we can see the mountains. It's too bad I missed that oversized guy. I really wanted to show you guys. It was a monster trailer, much bigger than what I had myself. This was probably like, I don't know, 100 or 200 ton trailer.
In 500 meters, merge onto Stony Trail Northwest, Alberta 201 East.
Because yeah, instead of regular axles, he had like a cradle in the back, you know, like a cradle. Basically, they use that only for super heavy loads. I don't know why you need that with a scraper, which probably weighs like 90,000 pounds. And that's it. From here, it's 10 miles, 16 clicks back to my yard. That's my job, that's what I do. And of course I already showed you the Freightliner, but in a way this can be nicer because the truck inside it's more comfortable. Like the Freightliner doesn't have any CarPlay, you know, this one has music. I don't like listening to music. I just have my Sirius XM on the phone. And mostly I listen to news. And so again, today's Wednesday, so yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do after lunch. Maybe he'll put me in a Freightliner. And then I'll do a couple of hours of Uber after work. Now it seems it's started to pick up, whereas, you know, most of the January was really dead. I don't know, where all the people go? There was no passengers, you know?
In 3 kilometers, take exit 48 for Shackanappy Trail.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Now this guy was in front of me at an intersection, and check out the text just above that red line. That one makes no sense at all. I sent this picture to a friend of mine and he says they probably used some cheap AI for this, but does not inspire any confidence.